Singapore Airlines says it could be forced to lay off up to 2,400 staff because of COVID-19. The airline says it's affected by what it calls a long road to recovery in an industry that's been battered severely. The cuts would be part of 4,300 positions that will go as the national carrier downsizes. All three of its carriers would be affected: Singapore Airlines, Silk Air and Scoot. Around 1,900 positions were removed by a recruitment freeze, natural attrition and voluntary departure schemes. SIA says these have allowed it to reduce potential job cuts to around 2,400 in Singapore and across its overseas stations. The airline expects to operate at under 50% of capacity by the end of the current financial year. It says global passenger traffic is not expected to return to previous levels until around 2024. SIA says it is in a particularly vulnerable position because it does not have a domestic market. SIA's CEO, Goh Choon Phong, says having to let go staff has been the hardest and most agonizing decision in his 3 decades with the company. He adds that for those impacted, it is not a reflection of their individual capabilities, but a result of an unprecedented travel paralysis brought about by a global pandemic. And Melissa Goh has been at SIA's training center in Changi, finding out how some SIA employees have reacted.
I've seen a steady stream of staff leaving the compound after training or work, and understandably, many of them did not want to speak in front of the camera, citing the uncertainty surrounding this entire situation. But those that I spoke to helped me piece together a series of events. In the morning at about 11 a.m., they received an urgent text informing them about a virtual town hall. So this was conducted in batches for various divisions, and those who attended were given the overarching news. But for those who missed the town hall, they found out through an email from CEO Goh Choon Phong at about 6 p.m. informing them about the staff cuts. And then at 8 p.m. an email was sent to the cabin crew stating that some of them would need to be grounded and would need to attend compulsory one-to-one briefings starting this weekend. This would include a number of employment and work pass holders. In fact, some of them were notified that they would have to go on compulsory no-pay leave and take this month to clear their annual leave as well as their administrative tasks. Now, amongst those that I spoke to, there was a real sense of anxiety, with many of them saying they've had a sense of foreboding, ever since SIA introduced a voluntary early retirement or release scheme and a hiring freeze earlier this year. Needless to say, all of them are hoping they won't be affected, which is especially stark since some of them here at the SIA training centers haven't even gotten their careers off the ground.